Alright everyone, welcome back to another unboxing video. I'm sure by the title you might all know what this one is. I tried to keep it a secret in a previous video, but now the secret is out. I did take the outer box off just to make this a little more quick. As you can see, there is a little bit of damage on this box. I did order this watch from France a few weeks ago. It did take a while to get here, but I am glad that it is finally here. Now, unlike the last watch I got from Japan, this one has an, kind of hard to see on camera, but it says EU over here for European market, and it ends in 1ER for the model number. So a little bit of a difference there. Okay. And similar shaped black box as the last model. Unlike the gold text, this one has black text, G-Shock, Casio on the side. Now let's see what we got in the box. All right, very cool, very cool. All right, so we can already see there's a little bit of a difference, but yet a lot of similarities to the black model. First things first, we have this black box with a camo pattern printed on the top. So if you look right here, very cool, nice texture. It's actually really cool, you can even kind of hear it. So I scratch it, there's a texture to it. Again, you just got the booklets in here. I don't feel like taking those out. Just gonna leave it as is, just like I did in another video. All right, so let's open her up. Oh, wow, there it is. Before I take off all the plastic, there's the glamour shot. And I think I can answer my own question here. The packaging is indeed different. For this right here, the leaflet that comes with it, it's not in Japanese, it is in English. It says EU for European market. It says wave scepter, tough solar, just the standard information. So it's kind of cool to see that, you know, different markets just got the different languages. I'm sure that's the only difference between the different region codes, just the packaging. So I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'm going to unwrap this and we'll get started again. All right, folks, here's the watch all unwrapped, ready to go. And initial impressions, I got to say, is it's surprisingly more glossy and reflective than I thought it would be. It's almost got this gunmetal appearance, and you can see a lot of the reflections on the edges. So as I move the light, you can see along the edge of the bezel and the side of the case, the very reflective nature of it. I'm gonna pick it up for you guys and give you a better showing of the sides. So right here, so you can see the side of the bezel and the case flank here, super reflective. It's got a cool appearance, again, gunmetal in nature, and the sides of the links are polished in the same way. So you got that continuity on the watch, which is great. But again, I wasn't looking into getting something so blingy. You know, I really like more subtle watches. And I really got this watch as, you know, something that would be special to me. I wear watches because it's something I enjoy. I don't wear them to impress other people or, you know, to make like a statement of any kind. I just wear it because I like it. I like the design of it. I like the materials that go into it, the engineering, the history behind it, which is part of the reason why the square G-Shocks are one of my favorite. It goes back to the DW-5000, first released in 1983. And it's really nice that Casio carries that tradition on. And speaking of that, as you can see here, the bezel is completely smooth all along the top. If anyone's ever owned any of like the vintage DW-5000s or the 5200 or any of those, you know, 80s and 90s G-Shocks, the bezels never had that any raised points. They were all flat. And I'll bring out the GW5000 to show you later how that bezel has a raised point here and here. Now back to the watch. The camo pattern is, I don't even have words for it. I could describe what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. It's got this texture that can actually be felt. And it's reflective at certain angles. So I'm gonna move it here in the camera. So straight on, you can see the camo pattern is very visible. But once you get to certain angles like this, it's got this reflectivity to it. And again, that's something I'm not a big fan of because it's very, I guess, blingy, for lack of a better term. It's even got a nice polished edge here that's very reflective as well. I don't like things that are super attention grabbing. And yeah, it's really cool. It's really unique. It isn't everything I was hoping for it to be. I was really hoping for something a little more subtle. And when I initially pre-ordered both of these watches, the TB and the TCM, I was thinking I was gonna like this one a little bit more than the black one, but I'm questioning it at this point. I really do like that they use the golden buttons and screws on the side. That's a really cool touch. The display is amazing. I really did have a hard time in the past with non-STN negative displays from Casio, especially on solar models. Their legibility has always been poor, especially from sharp angles. As you can see, as I rotate the watch, the display still stays legible. Even at sharp angles, like probably I wouldn't go any steeper than this. You can still see it says 120 on the screen. But, you know, for day-to-day wear, I think the limitations of the display are pretty much spot on. And two issues with the negative displays, at least in the past, is direct light, like so. It would be difficult to read, as well as low lighting. So let's turn off the light here. I'm gonna dim my light. See that? It's still very, very legible, which is great. It looks like it's doing a radio sync. I don't know. I don't think I accidentally hit the button. Might have something to do with me taking it out of the box. As you can see, it's getting pretty good reception between level 2 and level 3. Other features I'd like to touch on is the clasp. Simple G-Shock engraving, nice camo pattern. And if you, it has very good actuation. I'll let you listen to that click. And the inside is not camo pattern at all. It's got the gunmetal, you know, reflectivity of the sides. And the same goes for the inside of the bracelet links here. So as you can see, it's reflective, smooth, no camo pattern. It would have been interesting if they put the camo pattern on the inside, because again, it does have a texture. It might actually might have helped the watch slide around less on the wrist. But again, I could see it also being irritating. So this also works too. Another point I'd like to touch on is this case back. So if you look at that case back, you can see that it has this radial reflectivity, almost like a sunburst effect. And this is something that you would, if anyone's owned a lot of the older square G-Shocks in the 80s and 90s, they actually had a radial engraving, very fine engraving that would go around the edge, and it'd have a texture. So this one does have that texture. It's even more fine than the older models, but it creates this cool sunburst effect when you move the watch like this. So it's a nice little touch. I really appreciate the fine details like that. It's nice to see that the watch isn't just well finished on the sides, the top, and you know, the bracelet. It's good to see that they actually put some, you know, TLC into that case back there. Very cool touch. Very, very cool. The display over here, or the border of the display, I like how they textured the solar panel kind of to blend in with the camo pattern, as well as the area around the display. Very, 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 very nice touch. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about the this model, or even about the all black model, you know, just comment down below. I'm hoping to do a comparison video in the near future. And thank you for watching. Okay, I almost forgot. Just gonna chime in here real quick. So if you look at the GW5000, it has a raised point down here and up here. And if you look at the camo version, it's completely flat bezel, which is more traditional to the older models. And I just thought I would show you guys because I thought that was a cool little detail. There you go.